Turning now to an NBC News exclusive on a story we've been covering for months. You may remember back in January, a 6-year-old boy was taken into custody after opening fire on his teacher inside a Virginia first-grade classroom. Now, prosecutors tell NBC News that they will not seek charges against the 6-year-old for the attack. Joining us now to discuss this is NBC News legal analyst Danny Cevallos. Danny, good morning. So while the prosecutor has said that they will not charge the 6-year-old, they did say that once they analyze all the evidence, all the information, they would, quote, charge any person or persons that they believe they can prove beyond a reasonable doubt committed a crime. So who exactly could that be in this case, and why is the 6-year-old then not involved in that?
It could be the parents. It could be anyone who was responsible for giving the firearm to the child. I did not expect them to charge the child for two reasons. Number one, even though they theoretically could, how would a 6-year-old form the requisite intent? And secondly, is a 6-year-old competent to stand trial? And that really just tests whether or not the defendant can understand the nature of the proceedings against him and help his attorney. But the adults, to the extent there were any adults involved who participated in or facilitated this 6-year-old getting the gun, they could potentially be charged.
And Danny, hopefully, yeah, that child gets the counseling and the care they need. I know a lawsuit is expected to be filed on behalf of the teacher who was shot. What kind of lawsuit can be filed on her behalf now that we know the 6-year-old is not going to be charged?
Well, lawsuit's a different question. I mean, you could file suit against anybody who may have given the child the firearm. But in all likelihood, if you're bringing a lawsuit, you're going to want to find an insurance policy somewhere or a deep pocket to pay a judgment. And it's probably the case that the parents don't have enough money to satisfy a judgment. You may be able to reach their homeowner's policy if they have one. So part of the challenge in finding someone to sue isn't always necessarily the person who's most responsible. That's our civil justice system. You can sue the person most responsible, but they may not have any money to pay a judgment. So the search becomes for any government entity or any private entity with an insurance policy or assets to pay a judgment. And that means you have to do some creative drafting of a complaint sometimes.
So, Danny, if the Attorney General does decide to bring charges against someone in this case, how exactly would they go about doing that?
They simply determine who was the responsible party for providing the firearm to the child, and then they can charge them with some form of negligence or, well, in the criminal context, negligence is really, it's a misnomer. It's more like recklessness. Did they consciously disregard a known risk in allowing a child access to a firearm? And that could be even in the home, possibly not locking it, any kind of risk that they were aware of. It was a substantial risk, and they consciously disregarded it. That is a form of criminal negligence. It's a little misleading because civil negligence is really it just asks the question whether your conduct fell below the standard of care, whereas criminal negligence is about consciously disregarding a known risk. It's a bit of a bug in the legal system that we have two different kinds of negligence for criminal and civil cases.
So, Danny, as our legal analyst, what do you expect to happen with this case, with this incident?
In all likelihood, I mean, law enforcement and prosecutors are going to try very hard to find an adult responsible because they recognize, and I expected they would not charge the 6-year-old, even though you hypothetically could. This is not this would be a almost certain acquittal, even if the case went to trial. So, in the prosecutor's mind, somebody has to pay for this, and they will try very hard to find the adult, to pinpoint which adult, if any, is responsible for giving the gun to this kid, because somebody has to be held accountable if you cannot hold a 6-year-old accountable. While legally you theoretically can, practically speaking, what jury in the world is going to convict a 6-year-old?
Important points there. Danny Cevallos, thank you so much.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.